We're now recording.
Good morning. I'm Vicki O'Doherty, a member of the Worship Committee for UU Catskills. Our minister is the Reverend Dr. Leonisa Ardizzone until the end of this month. We are in the process of interviewing minister applicants. For our service today, we have a guest minister, the Reverend Evan Carville-Zima. Reverend Carville-Zima serves the Unitarian Universalist Association, Central East region in the areas of youth ministry, young adult ministry, and intercultural competency work, and as primary contact for congregations such as our own in upstate and central New York. Reverend Carville-Zima holds a Master's of Divinity from Earlham School of Religion and a Bachelor of Arts from Carleton College. On this Father's Day, I want to honor all the fathers in our congregation, as well as the fathers of all attendees. I hope you have a wonderful day with your loved ones. We welcome friends, guests, and members to our online service. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your life's journey, you are welcome here. At UU Catskills, we are a welcoming congregation for the LGBTQ community. We affirm that Black Lives Matter. We are a congregational affiliate of the Ulster Immigrant Defense Network, and we are active voices in the effort to address climate change. Unitarian Universalism is a liberal religious faith that carries no creed and welcomes all seekers. We are guided by 7 principles and 6 sources that encompass the many ways that we come to know and understand the world, the universe, and the divine. If you are new, we encourage you to visit our website at uucatskills.org. If you would like to be added to our mailing list, please give us your email in the chat box or online at uucatskills.org. I remind everyone that during the service, you are encouraged to stay muted. I have a few announcements today. Be sure to read our latest newsletter for the upcoming activities at UU Catskills. The following announcements are I have the following announcements. All right, the following announcements are information that are available in the most recent weekly update. Our treasurer, Karma Haas, wants to remind you that if you have not fulfilled your pledge for 2020 to 2021, please do so. And if you have changed your pledge from 2021 to 2022, and pledge automatically, please go online and update your automatic donation amount. If you have any questions, you can contact Karma Haas at uucctres, T-R-E-A-S, @gmail.com. We need volunteers for Heather McLean's memorial service, which is scheduled for June 27th at 6:30 p.m. Help is needed to assist the family from 5 p.m. onward with setup, breakdown, and various tasks. If you would like to volunteer, please send an email to the office, which is uuccoffice@gmail.com. We will have an Interdependence Day picnic on July 11th. It will be a bring your own lunch gathering at the congregation. We will provide everything but the food. Volunteers are needed to set up and break down. Call Don Pritchell or Pat Hurst to help out. After the service today, we invite you, and we also have today the grief support group at 7 p.m. and the bedtime story and more at 7 p.m. on Thursday. So you can be sure to attend those. Do visit www.uucatskills.org for all Zoom links. After the service today, we invite you to stay and join one of our breakout rooms where we meet to have virtual coffee and socialize. Visitors are welcome. Also, we will not have a breakout room for our children's chapel today. So, welcome to UU Catskills. Let us join together in creating a sacred space for our worship together. I'd like to introduce Satch Waldman, who will play our prelude, which is a piece called Misty by Errol Garner. If you have a chalice, please light the candle as I light mine.
We light this chalice in grateful, loving community.
Even in the darkest of times,
its flame-like path
to courage, justice, and hope.
Join me in our chalice lighting words. We light this chalice in grateful, loving community, even in the darkest of times. May its flame light paths to courage, justice, and hope. The opening words are by Reverend Cargill Zima, and she's going to be doing the opening words.
Welcome to this time and space made sacred by our shared promises and shared dreams. Welcome to this time and space made sacred by shared sacrifices and shared loss. Welcome to this time and space made sacred by shared joy and shared celebration. Welcome to this community of travelers, each on our own path, but choosing to travel together. We believe all humanity shares a common source and that we are bound together and share a common destiny. Come, travel with us.
Please join me in our unison affirmation. May we be reminded here of our highest aspirations and inspired to bring our gifts of love to all living beings. May we know once again that we are not isolated, but connected in wonder and joy to mystery and miracle in the universe, in this community, and in each other. Please join in singing our hymn, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. Music is by Lynn Adair Unger, and the words are by Jalal ad-Din Muhammad Rumi. The words are on your screen. I will read our Not for Children Only story today. The title is Saturday, which was written by Ogi Mora. This morning, Ava and her mother were all smiles. It was Saturday because Ava's mother worked Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Saturday was the day they cherished. On Saturdays, they zipped to the library for weekly story time. On Saturdays, they lounged in salon chairs and got new hairdos. On Saturdays, they picnicked in the grass at the park for a peaceful afternoon. And on this Saturday, they would also ride the bus cross town for a one-night only puppet show. The day would be special. The day would be splendid. The day was Saturday. Ava and her mother could hardly wait. So zoom, off they went. But when they reached the library, story time was canceled. Oh no, Ava cried. It's canceled, wailed Ava's mother. They paused, closed their eyes, and let out a deep breath. So zoom, off they went. But as they left the salon, whoosh, their hairdos were ruined. Oh no, Ava sobbed. Our dues, boo-hooed Ava's mother. They paused, closed their eyes, and let out a deep breath. Don't worry, Ava, her mother reassured her. Today will be special. Today will be splendid. Today is Saturday. So zoom, off they went. But their peaceful afternoon in the park was loud. Oh no, Ava groaned. What did you say? It's too noisy, yelled her mother. They paused, closed their eyes, and let out a deep breath. Don't worry, Ava, her mother reassured her. Today will be special. Today will be splendid. Today will be ruined if we miss our bus. So zoom to the extra special and one night only puppet show they went. We made it, Ava explained as they arrived at the theater. Thank goodness, Ava's mother sighed in relief. Hooray for Saturday, they cheered. Tickets, chirped the lady at the door. Ava's mother reached into her purse. But the tickets were not there. Oh no, Ava's mother gasped. I left our tickets on the table. As Ava watched, her mother crumpled. I've had it, she sighed. Story time was canceled. Our hair was ruined. The park was loud, and now we're missing the puppet show. I'm sorry, Ava. We looked forward to this all week, and I've messed up everything. I ruined Saturday. Ava was quiet for a moment. Then she closed her eyes. And let out a deep breath. Don't worry, Mommy, Ava reassured her. Today was special. Today was splendid. Saturdays are wonderful because I spend them with you. So, slowly, hand in hand, hand in hand, off they went. When they reached the apartment door, Ava turned to her mother. She had an idea. What if we, Ava started. You know, we could, her mother began. So they did. What a beautiful day. And that's our story for today. For our offering today, we are sharing our plate with the Hudson Valley LGBTQ Community Center, which provides services, professional resources, and programs that unite the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer community across lines of age, race, gender, and economics. Their purpose is to strengthen, support, and celebrate LGBTQ individuals, families, and groups in their efforts to achieve their fullest potential. There are several ways to contribute to UU Catskills for our plate this morning. You may donate by texting to the number given or going online to uucatskills.org or by using the phone app Give Plus. You can also mail your donation to the office address. For our offertory, Satch Waldman will play The Gentle Rain by Loïc Bonfa. Yes.
Hi, Satch.
Our homily today is presented by, oh wait, hold on one second. Yes, is presented by Reverend Evan Carville Zemer. Spirituality of Change, Part 1.
No matter what the change is, there's always loss. No matter how many years or how much money or how many miscarriages it took for the blessed baby to arrive, there's still the loss of sleep, of being able to use the bathroom by yourself, perhaps of just running to the grocery store or being alone with your partner. No matter how exciting the new job is, there's the loss of familiar patterns of life, maybe being able to sleep late or be in control of your own time. No matter how awful the old boss was, there's the loss of the known and the certain and the painstakingly discovered ways of survival. No matter how exciting graduation is and the future ahead, there's the loss of those familiar patterns of life, of friends and rituals that have sustained you. And when the change isn't what you wanted, it's even harder. This congregation is in the middle of a time of changing ministers, and I'm here today and in part, but mostly to offer you some sustenance and nurturing in this time of change, perhaps even offer some hope. And there's loss in this kind of change, loss of relationship, of stability, of hope, of a deepening relationship. Some of you have been around a while. You've lived through changing ministers. And so sometimes this loss brings up those losses too. And it's normal, expected, common to feel a whole range of emotions. If loss isn't the right word, try disappointment, disillusionment, regret, even angry. It's also not normal to quite really know what you're feeling, especially in a pandemic where we've all just been doing the best we could to get through and maybe skating along the surface for the last year and almost a half, trying to survive. Cruising Facebook, binging on shows, it's a survival mechanism. If you don't know what you're feeling, like it might take a while. That's all right. And if you're new here, these may not be the losses you're feeling. To come to a new congregation is its own change. It can be a strange time to enter a congregation, but also kind of a wonderful one because everyone else is a little bit confused too. And then there's more. Whether you're new or have been here for years, one loss brings other losses to the surface. And if you have other recent losses, you may find yourself taking all the losses particularly hard. Change and loss is like that. One loss touches another. At a global pandemic, and if you're feeling a little fragile right now, even cranky, jumpy, nothing's wrong with you.
Hi, Mom.
You're just human. So let us let the words of Mary Oliver in her poem in Blackwater Woods help us hold all our losses. Look, the trees are turning their own bodies into pillars of light, are giving off the rich fragrance of cinnamon and fulfillment. The long tapers of cattails are bursting and floating away over the blue shoulders of the ponds. And every pond, no matter what its name is nameless now. Every year, everything I have ever learned in my lifetime leads back to this: the fires and the black river of loss, whose other side is salvation, whose meaning none of us will ever know. To live in this world, you must be able to do three things: to love what is mortal, to hold it against your bones, knowing your own life depends on it, and when time comes, to let it go. To let it go. I invite you to settle into a time of meditation, prayer, if that's your practice. If it feels good to you, to notice your body. Notice your feet. Notice where your body presses against whatever you're sitting on or standing on. And just notice that you breathe in and out. Ribs expanding, contracting. And glance around your space. Notice the beauty. the comfort in the familiar, the ways you've made it cozy. And to feel your own mortalness, your own living in this world. Here we are, mortal together, breathing. Breathing across the internet and Zoom. Breathing with the whole world. The whole world is just breathing together. What mortal things do you love? What today do you hold against your very bones, knowing your life depends on it? And what today are you letting go of? Spirit of life, source of life, giver of life, be with us in all we love. Be with us in all we cling to. Be with us as we cross the black river of loss, as we let go again and again. So may it be. Amen. Blessed be.
Please join in singing our hymn, I Know This Rose Will Open, by Mary Grigolia. The words will be on your screen.
I want you to imagine for a moment that you're swinging on a trapeze. You've got a solid grip. You're swinging at a steady rate. You feel pretty much in control. You know how this goes. And then you see another bar swinging towards you across the space. And you know in your gut, in your heart, that to grow, to live out your passion, to be fully alive, you have to seize that bar. And even though you might want to hold on to the bar that you have, the old bar, until you have the new one in your grasp, that's not how it works. Instead, there is this time of hurtling between, suspended in the air, feeling out of control, maybe even afraid of falling, of missing, of grabbing the bar wrong. Change is like this. There is a time of hurtling between, whether the leap is chosen or not. One cannot hold on to the old way of being until the new way is in place. Our culture does not particularly like this. We do not like the uncertain times. We don't get a lot of practice as kids, adolescents, as young adults. No one helps us gain the emotional and spiritual skills for these times in our lives. Instead, our society rushes to fill the gaps, teaches us to rush to the new place, ignore the feelings, to get through the change time with our eyes closed, filling our minds with anything but what might not be so comfortable about where we are now. But it is in this place, and possibly only this place, that real transformation happens. If you think back to times that transformation happened for you and others you know, it might have happened at a semester abroad in college, right after a divorce, when we move to a new place, when we dare to take a new job, maybe one in a new field, when we finally say no to something that hurts us. So the possibility of change is not just that the new trapeze bar across the space coming towards us might have new exciting possibilities, but that by the time we hold onto the bar, we will have been transformed by the experience of hurtling through space. I'll say, as an aside, our whole country is struggling with this right now. We all feel the pressure to rush back to normal, as if we have not been transformed by the pandemic, as if our lives haven't been changed. Change is uncomfortable. Our society doesn't like this. Let's just pretend nothing happened. It's all over now. And then on top of that, for you, since Reverend Leonisa announced her resignation, this congregation is yet in another layer of change, the time between ministers. For congregations with full-time ministers, we usually recommend they hire a specific minister, especially for this time, an interim minister. But even without such formal recognition, we know these transitions are important for all congregations. And I don't know what your last primary contact said when Reverend Erica left, so I might be repeating stuff, but I'd rather repeat it than not say it. And sometimes we need to hear things again. What we found is that whether or not we name this transition time, it's formal or not, it just exists. The current average tenure for a settled minister is about 7 years. There are occasionally tenures over 2 decades, but shorter, between 5 and 11, has been the norm for a couple of decades now. And almost always, whether intentional or not, the minister who follows only stays a short time, a couple of years. Sometimes the congregation hires a formal interim with the intention they only stay a short time. But even in those congregations that don't, usually, often, the next minister is what we call an unintentional interim. They stay a few years, and then it's time for them to move on. Why change? How humans seem to work? When Reverend Erica left, you didn't have time to reflect on who you are now, how you changed over the time she served you, the culture of your congregation then as opposed to before. In other words, you didn't even know. You didn't have the time to know what kind of minister you needed most. And then in a very human way that surprises me not at all, the level of reflection emerged among your leaders. I've been talking to your leaders. I haven't talked to the rest of you, so I can only really talk about them. As Reverend Leonisa asked questions, made suggestions, and discovered that the shape of the ministerial position in terms of what Reverend Erica did or didn't do and the amount of hours that she was spending on different parts of her work didn't fit, didn't work for Reverend Leonisa. And as she asked those questions and made suggestions and was just herself, your leaders noticed ways she's different and asked her questions. And because a new minister is never an exact copy of the old minister, this process is normal, expected, happens everywhere. So when we, the UUA, try to help a congregation move through this time, our hope is that with intention, we not only like grieve and heal losses, but also grow and learn and come out stronger and healthier. The next step, just to be transparent, is an exit interview process. I meet separately with your leadership and separately with Reverend Leonisa. After that process, your leadership will probably be ready to talk to you more about what they're learning. Our experience is this time of change is one of immense possibility. A time to see your congregation's biggest gifts, your truest nature, who you are meant to be now, and to clear away whatever is in the way of that emerging. It's a time to break old patterns that are holding you back, whatever you find those to be, and to see a way to live out your dreams, where you are, who you are in this time. The things you are not quite content with, the dreams you have you're not sure quite how to reach, the puzzlement about what seems stuck. This is just a time that things are somehow more malleable and open to transformation, not only of any pattern with ministerial relationship, like your relationship with ministers, but also every part of congregational life. Sometimes changing like this is not very comfortable. Maybe especially in a pandemic where you just like church to be the way it always was because that's comforting. Sorry. I also don't really like change like this. I don't really know what's happening. Everything is shifting kind of change. No, I don't mean this change isn't about the right fix. Though maybe you'll do that, I don't know. Not about the right new program, but you might pick a new program. It's not about changing the faces on your committee or your board, though you might do that. It's kind of change about finding new ways of talking about hard things or looking at your history and seeing patterns. Choosing to play in the space of not knowing, experimenting with what's possible, playing and experimenting, holding things lightly. In that sense of playfulness is where you're most likely to renew your sense of purpose, the reason for being, the thing that brings you joy and purpose, brings you new energy as individuals and as a congregation. Transformation is deep. It might change things on the surface, but that I hope you get my examples here is not the point. The surface, it just isn't the important part. So this is a time of change. There will be times of stability in your future, like you've had in your past, but this is the time of change. To live into fully, eyes wide open as you fly. And if this is the time you've given to change, the opportunity for transformation, how do you live? I'm sure other people have other guidance. I have 5. 5 important spiritual practices for you as individuals and as a congregation. Grieve your losses and disappointments. Whatever is brought up for you in this time, nothing's insignificant, whether it's about now or the past. Loss not grieved can haunt the future. Feel. Second is feel whatever you feel. You feel elated, feel that. Confused, feel that. Exhausted, overwhelmed, abandoned. You might even feel guilty, like this is your fault somehow. What I know about feeling guilty at a time like this is that sometimes it's easier to feel like it's our fault because then it feels like we're in control, and harder to feel like hard things happen when we have little control. So feel what you feel one by one. Be present in your body. It's countercultural, but your feelings will lead you through this time. Culture doesn't want you to feel uncertain, confused, or afraid, but don't listen to that. Trust your own inner wisdom, your own inner messages. Trust there will come a time when your inner wisdom tells you you're ready to fully invest in the future of this congregation, and you will find yourself filled with new excitement and energy. That time will come. It's probably not now. Third, take care of yourselves and each other. It can be easy to be sharp with each other and ourselves now, easy to be impatient, especially because we're going through so much. So take time, say no, go for a walk, take care of yourself. If some things don't happen, they don't happen. When the time is right, those programs will reemerge, or something new and amazing will come to fill their place. And remind each other of this. Do not let each other do too much and burn out. The burned out and exhausted will not be ready for the new ideas that emerge or have the energy to welcome what comes out of the changes. Remember, your mission is about nurturing the spiritual lives of people, not about numbers, programs, or committee meetings. And sometimes nurturing those lives means slowing down and saying no. Now is the time for relatively easy, not complicated programs, those that nurture you, not exhaust you. And if you're in charge of an area of church life, you're like, I have no idea how to do that. Give me a call. We'll talk about what could be easier right now. Fourth, open yourself to what's possible. Experiment. Try new things. Don't let your grief or frustration cloud your sense of the possible. I don't mean planning. I don't mean the strategic 5-year planning possible. I'm talking about dreaming possible. Open to the possible to see many possibles. And don't even settle for the first possible that crops up. But fifth, do not let your sense of the possible numb your feelings or lead you in your excitement to not listen to someone else's feelings. And that's full circle. Grieve your losses, feel what you feel, take care of yourself and each other, open yourself to the possible, but do not let your sense of the possible numb your feelings. These are spiritual practices for staying present and honoring the wisdom of our souls and body. My prayer for each of you is that this time of change is not only a time of renewal and transformation for the congregation, but also for you. So I invite you to see yourself as living through a time of change and to see that as a spiritual practice. Breathe in, breathe out, be here now. Feel what you feel. All will be well.
Thank you. Please join in singing Let It Be a Dance by Rick Maston. The words will be on your screen.
Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Let a dancing song be heard. Play the music, say the word, and fill the sky with sailing birds. Let it be a dance, let it be a dance, let it be a dance. Learn to follow, learn to lead. Feel the rhythm, feel the need. To reap the harvest, plant the seed. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a Let your body learn to bend, and like a willow with the wind, let it be a dance, let it be a dance, let it be a dance. A child is born, the old must die. A time for joy, a time to cry. Take it as it passes by. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Morning star comes out at night. Without the dark, there is no light. If nothing's wrong, then nothing's right. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let the sunshine, let it rain. Share the laughter, bear the pain. And round we go again. Let it be a dance.
Our closing words are from Reverend Evan Carvin Zimmer.
We cannot discover new oceans unless we have the courage to let go of the shore. So as you let go of the shore, may this community hold you and nurture you and give you courage. May this be a time you grow closer and stronger. Even when it's hard, may you play and yes, dance.
Join me in saying the words on the screen as we extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Now, sung benediction.
From you I receive, to you
I give.
together we share, and from this we live. From you I
receive to
you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
You're invited to stay and you will automatically be assigned to a breakout room. Visitors are welcome to stay and meet congregation members in the room. It will take a few minutes for this to be set up. I want to thank our technical host today, Tom Hackett, and our usher, Catherine Catabiani, and our guest minister, Reverend Pavel Zima. So just stay tuned. See who's there.